fall is here, and there are still items that you can add to your garden. Dr. Joe Willis with the LSU Ag Center is here to discuss tips to growing beets this season in our area. Good morning.
Good morning, Shelby.
Well, it was so fun to see you out there on Saturday at the Fall Garden Festival in City Park. Such a great event every year.
Well, it's great to see you and your whole crew of little ones running around. Of course, they looked like they were keeping you and your husband more busy than
Oh my goodness. Yeah, Joe, I think, heard me going 1, 2, 3, 4. We're missing one. We're missing one. But they were having so much fun out there, and there was so much stuff for kids to do. So if you missed it this year, next year, put it on your calendar for the Fall Garden Festival. But if you, like me, have not started planting your fall plants yet,
Yes.
there are still some things that you can plant and get yields before we have to pull them up.
There's quite a few things that we can start right now. Still a lot of the cold crops, but beets is one that I really love. I love beets. There's so many ways.
They're delicious. So many things you can do with them.
And they're so nutritious, and they're really easy to grow. And for us in our area, from anywhere from mid-August all the way through mid-November, you can plant beets. Then kind of take a little break. You plant the seeds, and then from mid-January through mid-March.
Okay.
And beet seeds, I don't know if you've ever grown beets, but they're interesting because they're kind of what's called a multi-germ or multi-embryo seed.
Oh.
So when there's a seed that has multiple embryos in there, anywhere usually from 2 to 8. And when you plant a beet seed...
I know about that because I have triplets at my house. But go on.
When you plant a beet seed, you'll almost always get 2, 3, sometimes 5 little plants come up from that one seed that you plant.
Do you have to take those away so just the one can grow?
Yes, then you want to thin those to 2 to 4 inches apart from your planting. And the best way is to direct seed. You can find transplants. If people will buy it, somebody's going to sell it. So garden centers will sell transplants, but it's best just to go ahead and start your own seeds and plant them.
Okay, so you just throw a bunch of the bigger seeds down, and then when they start growing up, that's when you pull.
Yeah, once they get about, the true leaves, about 2
Can you pull them up and stick them somewhere else?
People do that.
So to maximize, because I just hate to waste a little plant.
As long as when it comes up, you got a good root system, just, take your finger, stick it in there. Probably about half of those will survive, sometimes more, but that's a good way to extend what you've planted. Okay,
and then my next question is, January to March is when we're harvesting these bad boys. How do you know? Because beets, like carrots and other root vegetables, grow under the ground, right?
Yeah, but beets and carrots are the same way. What you can do is, a lot of times, the very top of the beet will be sticking up out of the ground.
Okay.
And if not, you just take your finger and clear the soil around the top of the carrot or the beet, and you can tell exactly how large it is. And so then you only harvest the ones that are the size that you want. And beets, anywhere from 2 to 4 inches. You can go with the little tiny beets that are only 1 inch big. Those are really nice, sweet, really, really tender. Or you can let the beet get larger. And the great thing about beets is you can plant lots of beets at one time. With some things you have to plant in succession so that as it matures you can harvest.
But it's not going to rot.
No, beets store well in the ground. As long as it's nice and cool, you can just harvest the ones you want, leave the rest in the ground. They'll keep getting a little bigger, and they really don't get tough and stringy until it gets hot in the summertime.
Okay. So you could, keep harvesting them throughout the winter, unlike lettuces that we've already previously talked about, where you might need to harvest those.
And of course, the beet leaves are very good and very nutritious too. They're an excellent green. You use them like greens. Cook them like you would mustard greens or collard greens, something like that. They have a different flavor. You can definitely taste that they're different. And there are even beet varieties that were developed just to produce lots of greens, so the root on them doesn't get very large very fast.
All right,
but they
so make
produce
sure
lots
you're
of
buying
greens.
the right variation for you. Dr. Joe Willis, thank you so much for joining us. I appreciate it.